Hey everybody, we are here at Zulu's Board Game Cafe in our new event center. It's me, Brian, and I'm here with JT, and we're going to be learning to play Metazoo today. This is a hot new card game that everyone has been talking about recently, and JT does our organized play for us here at the store. So first, tell us what is Metazoo? What is this game about?
Hey, so I'm JT. I'm an apprentice metazoologist. I've been playing the game for a little bit now, a couple months. And Metazoo is a game where your surroundings matter. It is kind of boasted to have all of the fourth wall effects, to where whatever is going on in the game is affected by things that are outside of the game. Plays very much like Magic the Gathering, mixed with a little bit of Pokemon and then some other kind of wacky rules.
Okay, what's the theme of the game? Like, what's the setting for Metazoo?
So Metazoo's kind of storyline is it was America, and the veil broke, and then cryptids and folklore entered the normalcy of human life. Things got weird after that.
All right, well, that sounds fascinating. So we're going to take a closer look at this. Before we get started, we're going to take a look at a few example cards, learn how to read them. So JT's got some example cards out here. We're going to take a closer look at those. Go ahead.
For sure. So to play Metazoo, you have to start with your aura pages. Your aura pages kind of function as your resource. So right here I've got a lightning aura. The lightning aura has the lightning symbol, and that means that I could play cards with the lightning symbol. So a spell like this would deal 25 damage to target beastie and inflict it with paralysis. To do that, you would be turning your aura page sideways and then contracting the spell and then doing the ability.
All right, that all makes sense. Feels very familiar so far.
Yeah, so we have a couple different types of cards as well. We have tarot cards, which are the ways to affect your surroundings in case you don't have the certain surroundings. So like if you aren't in a lightning storm, playing a tarot page kind of says, hey, we're now in a lightning storm.
All right, and it sounds like the lightning bolt cares if we're in a lightning storm.
Not specifically this one, but some spells do.
Okay.
There are Beastie Cards, which kind of act as your creatures, and then these absolutely care about your surroundings. So Quetzalcoatlus would get a 50 damage boost to its attacks because we are in a lightning storm.
Okay. So I guess walk me through the anatomy of the card a little bit more. So we've got the name up here.
Yep.
And then up here, this is what it takes to play the spell with the resources.
Yes, indeed.
So I see the lightning bolt correlation here. What do these other numbers mean?
Cool. So up here is your 4 lightning cost, meaning I need 4 lightning to play it. The number right next to it is its LP, which is its life total.
Okay.
We've got the name of the card, Quetzalcoatlus, and then right under it is the amount that you are allowed to have in your spellbook. Now that's a little bit different than other games because every card has its own number that you can have.
Okay.
So like a bookmark, per se, you can only play 2 of them, whereas Quetz I can play 4. And Lightning in a Bottle, I can play 5 of them.
All right. So then I see Quetzalcoatlus has all of these symbols over here to the left side of the card.
Yeah, so this bookmark area is separated into 2 different zones. The bottom is your Terra bonuses, which are bonuses to your attack or your LP that can only be affected by your surrounding area. And then the area right above is its inherent traits. Quetzalcoatlus has Flying, Fleet, and First Strike, the 3 Fs. And they kind of talk about how the card interacts with other cards. So like Flight means it can only be attacked by flight. First Strike means it attacks first in combat, and Fleet means it can attack immediately.
All right. And that's all of those symbols right here are indicative of those keywords?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then I see a whole lot of text down there on the bottom.
Yeah, so the way I like to boil these down is if it's a power, it's kind of like a tap ability, and then if it's an attack, it's an attack that you can use. So in the game of Metazoo, we as casters start at 1,000 LP each player, and the goal of the game is to reduce the opponent to 0. You can do that by attacking with these attacks, and the powers are in lieu of doing the attacks. So if I wanted to, I could tap Quetzalcoatlus and attack a beastie or a player.
Can't
or an
use
artifact.
the T word. The T word is copyrighted.
Right. I believe it's fatiguing in this game. Yeah, you'd be fatiguing an awakened beastie, and that is so hard to get away.
I know it's not actually anything that is a problem for the video. Just
and then so to do any of those abilities, you would just turn your your card sideways. And that's kind of the gist of it.
All right, so that all sounds pretty straightforward. So we're going to go ahead and JC's going to walk me through a sample game. I've got one of our Learn to Play decks at Zulu's, and if you are local and want to come learn to play, we have decks available for you to learn this game on. So we're going to shuffle up, and what's my starting hand look like?
Your starting hand is going to be 7 cards. And then we also go by the mulligan rule of if you don't like your first hand, then you can, if you don't like your hand in general, you can drop 1 card each time. So you would go down to 6, and then 5, and then 4, respectively.
Yep, that all also sounds quite familiar. Let's see. I have no idea what a good versus bad hand looks like. So what sorts of things should I be trying to make sure that I have?
Well, that's totally
my
fine.
Opening hand. Yeah, we're just gonna play with hands up so that I can get a feel for what I'm doing.
So in kind of similar fashion, you want to be able to play your cards, so some amount of aura is good. Having 2 is actually pretty strong.
All right.
Most decks are built with 40 cards and then go higher, so having about 20% or to 35% of your deck being aura is nice. Right now I have the ability to play Paralyze and Ding Bell, but because I kind of don't want to do that on my first turn, and when you start, you do draw, so I'll draw. I'm just going to play a Lightning Aura in play, and then I would pass my turn to you.
Okay, so I guess I would also draw.
Yep.
And now I see I have 2 Spirit Auras here.
Indeed.
So I would play one of my Spirit Auras.
Yep.
And then, let's see, so that matches the symbol in their top right is the one that I care about. So
you would totally be able
I
to
now
play.
only need 1. So I'm going to go ahead and play these Black-Eyed Children. Lost that. And can they do stuff the turn they show up?
And so inherently for each page, unless stated otherwise via fleet, they come into play fatigued.
Okay.
And it is an interesting rule that I don't see very often, but is definitely important, is wherever you place a card, it cannot move. Because certain cards I can place on your side, onto your things. Certain cards you can place on mine.
Okay, so the physical orientation is important.
Indeed.
Gotcha.
So because it comes in fatigued, I would imagine you wouldn't have anything else that you would be able to do, so you would generally pass your turn.
I assume there's a limit of 1 aura per turn, and just to show off the meta in Metazoo here, I have another Black-Eyed Children here. We're going to read what they do, and this page's attack deals plus 10 damage if you are seen with brown eyes. Oh, I remember I did a stream where I opened one of this, and I have a judge question about this card.
Sure.
Is if someone is looking at you and they have brown eyes, or if someone sees you while you have brown eyes? Because that sentence could be interpreted in multiple ways. Also, why is brown capitalized on this card?
I don't know why brown is capitalized.
Sorry.
But I believe it's if I see you to have brown eyes.
Okay, so if you observe me having brown eyes, my card does more damage?
I believe so.
Okay.
Take one more read at that. If you are... Yes, because you are the owner, so if I see you with brown eyes.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen today. So my poor little Black-Eyed Children will just have their regular attack value.
Which, brown eyes for the Black-Eyed Children. I can't stand by it, but hey.
Well, I mean, it'd be weird if you needed your opponent to have a black eye, because then that's some whole other implication that is not
right,
not part of this children's game that we're playing. So that's my turn, so go ahead.
There we go. So I'm going to play a Lightning Aura. And now, you were right in saying that it is only 1 aura per turn, but that's the only limit when it comes to playing cards.
Yep.
Including Terra. So if I have 2 or 3 Terra, I can just play them in front of us, and then that's what we would be affected by until we have 6, and then we would be cycling them out if we had more than that.
Gotcha.
So with that being said, I don't have any... I might have dice on me. I might not have dice on me. Oh, it's totally fine. We'll use this instead. I will play Ding Bell in play. It will come into play with 2 spark counters, because I paid 2 Lightning Aura to contract it.
You know what? I have an excellent stand-in for you.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Those will be super
two
necessary.
spark counters.
Cool.
Got there.
So I don't have anything else to do with my ding bell, so I will pass my turn.
Okay, so everything unexhausts at the start. I draw a fresh card here.
And now I should say this, but even though we're recording, and we kind of need to have our electronics, the way ding bell works is when it enters play, all electronic devices must be put out of eyesight while it's in the arena, and then if one is used, that caster takes 50 damage.
Okay.
For the sake of this, let's just not worry about that.
Just don't look at the microphone.
This doesn't
we don't
exist.
have to look at the camera. All right, so I'm gonna. What if you were recording your life totals on a phone or something? That's Metazoo.
Oh man, I've seen it. I've played with it, and I now have to get a real abacus or something.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read some of the other things that these do. All right, so I'm seeing some terms like Limbo and Afterlife. What are these spaces, and how are they different?
Yeah, so you have the equivalent of 3 different discard piles. Your Afterlife, I like to think of it as your exile is gone from play. The only things that naturally go there are aura cards or terras when they're destroyed. But of course, beasties and artifacts, if they're removed, would go there as well. Your cemetery is for your spells and potions, just to be out of play. And then your limbo is for your beasties and your artifacts.
All right.
And yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Just play multiple things. First thing I'm going to do is play the Spookster. See, when it enters the arena, there's a little thumb flipping a coin, so I assume I'm supposed to flip a coin here.
Indeed we do.
I'm going to go ahead and use this fire energy that I have nearby. Do I call it, or do you? Nope, it just says if heads, so we'll call the energy side heads.
Heads it is.
Got there. See, now I search the Afterlife for Beastie and place it into my spellbook. I should have read that all the way through, other than just reading the one that got me to flip a coin. So I guess that doesn't do much of anything. And then that also interacts with Afterlife and Limbo. So I'm going to go ahead and play this bookmark, and then I'm going to ask what this bookmark does.
Sure. So bookmark is one generic aura, so you can pay any different type to play it. And then bookmarking 2 is the rules text for drawing a card. In this game, we have 3 different names for the 3 different specific piles, which would be your spellbook is your deck, your chapter is your hand, and then bookmarking is drawing a card.
Okay, so I play this and I draw 2 cards.
Indeed you do.
Does this card go away after I play it, or
100%?
Okay.
You can kind of think of those spells as one-time use cards.
Sure. And does it go to my Afterlife or my cemetery?
Your cemetery.
All right, that will be my cemetery.
Cool.
All right, so now I've played all my stuff. Now it's time to have the children attack?
Yeah. So I'll explain how attacking kind of works in this game, because it can get a little bit complicated.
Sure thing.
So let's pretend you want to attack just me. Now, you are allowed to attack any beastie, and then you would obviously be in combat with that as well, or you can attack a caster. You can also attack artifacts. So certain artifact cards that kind of function like auras have LP as well, and then everything functions with its life total as long as it has one. So if you were to attack me, I would have no defenders because I don't have any unfatigued defenders.
And it would just exhaust to attack.
100%.
And is that its midnight knock is what I'm doing for this, or
yes.
Okay.
And so the way attacking works is if I have no defenders, which I don't, you are going to do the effect of the card and then apply all damage bonuses and then apply damage. So the way the card says is the effect is this attack can only deal up to 10 damage to non-casters. Okay, that's fine.
Well, it says deal up to 30.
Oh, yep, I can't read. That's fine.
Okay, so sorry, did I read it wrong?
No, so it would do 20 damage to me, and like I said, I have no defenders, so I will take that. Now, kind of the difference here between these 2 cards is Spiritual Poof has that little symbol. I believe that is Scared, which is an ability you would invoke on my Beastie if we had that ability to. And of course, these are Terra bonuses as well, so I believe that is Suburban? I think that is Suburban. It is a house.
Yeah, that makes sense, but it feels like we don't have any Terra in play at the moment, so that's not a thing I'm concerned about right now. That's correct?
Yeah,
to assume that?
Well, so since we are actually in a suburban area,
oh, so the actual area that we are in.
Yep, 100%. So instead, I'm going to take 40 damage. I'm going to go to 960.
Well, it can only do a maximum of 30, though, right? Because you're a caster.
To non-casters.
Oh, right. To non-casters. Okay. All right.
Yes, indeed. So I'm going to go to 960. And then if you don't have anything else, I'll go to my turn.
Nope, I think so. This has a Fantasy Flight level of small symbol language that you need to learn to play it. But well, it seems starting to make sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go to my turn. I will unfatigue my ding bell and draw my card. I will play Lightning Aura, and then I am going to use my 3 Lightning Aura to contract a Thunderbird. So Thunderbird normally would enter fatigued, but it has fleet, so it will not. Its name is Quetzalcoatlus in addition to Thunderbird, which is helpful if you're building a deck that wants to play as many Thunderbirds as possible. And then,
so for that, does the limit care about on the limit of cards? Then would that count against both your Quetzalcoatlus and your Thunderbird number?
No, because there are different versions of named cards.
Okay, so 2 cards, as long as part of their name is different, as long as the card itself is a different card with text and everything, the name itself is less important?
100%.
Gotcha.
So I am going to go to my attack step. We're going to mimic some combat. So the first thing I will do is I will attack with my ding bell, and I'm going to... Oh, you have spirit, so I can't actually attack your guys. I will attack you.
Okay, why is spirit preventing me from being attacked?
So spirit is the little trait symbol right up there, and
okay.
that says I cannot attack spirits unless I have spirit.
Oh, right.
And then so Dingbell is going to use its wrench attack, which, as I said earlier, you activate the effect first, and it says for each spark counter on this page, place a lightning beastie token with 20 LP and 10 damage onto the arena fatigue. I'm going to take some more of these energy cards.
Sure thing.
Just as a...
I have some more electrics if you want to use those.
Yeah, let's use those. Because that's basically what they make.
Yeah.
So we got these 2. These guys are beasties as well, with 20 LP and 10 damage. And then so the 10x is the number of spark counters on them, so I'm going to do 20 to you.
Ouch, so I am down to 980.
Yep. And then we are not in any kind of like lightning storm, or I don't believe it's raining outside. It wasn't when I came in, but that would kind of matter. But I am going to attack you for 30. Or, sorry, 20.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's anything I do about that, so that's another 20.
Cool.
And then does each beastie attack on its own individual note, or do they all attack at the same time?
They all attack on their own individual note. Yeah, and so that will be the end of my turn.
All right, so go to 960. Everyone untap, or unfatigues, defatigues. See, we'll play another Spirit Aura. Alright, so most of what I have here now is copies of other stuff I have, except, so for my Spectre Moose that I have here now, I see it has 2 of my Spirit energy and then 1 blank. That's one that I can pay anything for.
100%.
All right, so understood. Works. So yeah, my moose.
So your moose has something called Flash, which is an ability that says when a beastie or artifact with the trait is contracted into the arena, flip a coin. If heads, target beastie cannot declare an attack until the end of the caster's next turn.
All right, so the same thing with the card that we did earlier, and just... Nope. All right, so that's tails, so nope. And so now I have attacks. So now you have like 2 bonus beasties in addition to your actual ones. How do I attack your beasties? Does my spirit thing prevent me from attacking you?
No, just me attacking you. So the way it would work is you just kind of target and attack it. And basically you just say, hey, I want to attack that one, and then we would do combat to each other. So the difference in fighting each beastie against each other is there is a priority for attacks. So if you are attacking my stuff, and let's say none of us have first strike, you will do your attack to me first before I even get the chance to attack. So if I die, or my beastie dies, I might not actually have the chance to do damage back to you.
All right. So it looks like this one's got 50 LP.
Yes.
And this one has 10x the number of
100%.
So it's only got 20 right now?
Yep. And it should be known that damage persists permanently. So if you did 20 to my Thunderbird, he goes down to 30, and then it stays that way.
All right. But now I don't think I want you to generate any more of these. So right now I'm going to take the Black-Eyed Children.
Sure.
And have them do their Midnight Knock to the Ding Bell, which would do 20 plus the 20 minus 10 to a maximum of 30.
Yep.
So if it only has 20, that just knocks it out.
Ding Bell dies.
Hooray! And how many LP do each of these have?
They have 20 each, and then 10 damage.
Okay. And what does the Spiritual Poof do again?
So the Spiritual Poof, I believe, is scared. When you would be attacking me, it just kind of like Flash, you would be flipping a coin to see if it returns to my hand.
Okay, and if it attacks one of your beasties?
Yes, you will do that ability right before. I'm going to make sure that I am right on. Confusion, I'm sorry. So Confusion, you would, when the page is affected with Confusion, you place the counter on it. Anytime it would deal damage with an attack, I flip a coin. If Tails, deal that much damage to itself instead, and then remove the Confusion counter.
All right.
Just like Pokemon.
Sure. So then the Spookster is going to go ahead and attack the... See, what's the damage on?
So the difference is I have my Flight ability, which is similar to Spirit, meaning I can only be attacked if you have Flight as well.
Then in that case, we'll hit one of your tokens with it.
Sure.
And I'll flip my definitely a coin over here. But we will come up heads this time.
Heads is fine.
So, well, it only does 10, and if they've got 20 life points...
Oh, yes, that is right.
It just means now it's at risk for...
Let's do this. Let's turn this one into the confused one, so we'll remember.
Sure. All right, and that's my whole team. That's all my resources, so that makes it your turn.
Sure. I will go to my turn. Keep my stuff. I will draw a card. Cool. So I have a Lightning Aura. Now this is going to be kind of the famous turn that this deck is known for.
Oh no.
I'm going to go for Lightning Aura.
I think the meta Lightning deck is going to beat my Learn to Play Spirit deck, y'all.
I'm going to, and I totally just moved you, I'm going to play Quetzalcoatlus in front. Now, the funny thing about Quetz is its power almost no one ever uses. But I'm going to look right above me, and I don't see any light bulbs. So Quetz is not going to get a plus 10 damage for each light bulb directly in the arena, which is totally fine.
Yeah, except for, the large studio light pointing directly at it, yeah. Causing a little bit of glare, so we're just gonna... so we can see it.
Cool, yeah. But it does come in unfatigued, so I will go in for damage. I'm sorry. I also forgot Thunderbird's ability, which is each time you contract a lightning spell, it is considered Lightning Storm and Raining until the end of that turn. So it basically turns on the Terra bonuses. Quetzalcoatlus is going to attack you with Static Beam for 80 damage.
All right, so ow. I was at 960, so that'll put me at 880.
Thunderbird is going to attack you for 40, thanks to the Terra bonuses.
Yep.
And then the other big play is I'm going to play Lightning in a Bottle, which is going to awaken a target beastie, and the beastie gains first strike until end of turn.
All right, so I have a query about this one.
Yeah.
This says Lightning, but it says 0. Is that just indicative that it is a Lightning card, or do you need to have a Lightning Aura in play to be able to play it, but you don't exhaust it?
No, it just says that it's a lightning page, and then it costs 0.
All right.
There you go. And then, so I'm going to do another 80 damage to you with Quetzalcoatlus.
Ow. So that is 880 minus 40 is 840, so I go down to 720. That's a lot.
Yes, indeed. And then I think I can't attack the rest of your guys because they're spirits, but I will attack you for another 20. I'm sorry, 10.
All right. Nothing that can be done, so I will take the next 10.
And then that's the end of my turn.
Okay, and the confused one is not attacking?
No, because it's probably going to die.
All right. I'm drawing more of the similar things. All right, Moose, what do you got going on? Okay, so that's for something else. All right, so we'll go ahead and I'll start by doing attacks. Let's see, and you have flight. I assume both of them have that, so I can't attack them at all.
Indeed.
Okay, so I think we just have to start fighting back against you. We'll start with the Moose, who will attack with its Spectral Gore for 40.
Sure. I will take 40. I go to 920.
See one of the symbols there. It's a forest, and sundown are its environment.
Yeah, the forest and dusk. The general rule is if you're within 5 miles of the thing, then it counts. And because we are where we are.
We're in the Pacific Northwest. We're within 5 miles of any major biome if you're really looking.
Very true. So you'll get the bonus for that, but it's not dusk quite yet. So.
Okay. But that does make it a total of 50.
Cool. Go to 9. What did I say? 920? So 910.
Yep. And then... See, we'll have the Spookster hit your other currently unconfused tiny elemental. Oh, a card for that. Got there. Now both of them are confused. And I want to get rid of Psychic. Really standing for confusion. And then... So there's no blocking from the look of it, right? So if I leave something unused, does it have a way to try and stop your attacks actively?
Yes, you are able to block with anything that is unfatigued.
Okay. But since you have flight, I can't. It would probably be my guess here.
You just can't attack me. So in the same way for your spirits, I can't declare an attack against your spirits, but I could block against them.
Okay. So in that case, I guess I will leave the children out. Or actually, yes, I will leave the children out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and probably empty my hand here.
Seems like a good play. Especially if we're racing.
2 more Spooksters and 2 more sets of Black-Eyed Children.
That's insane. Yep, that's a whole bunch. Okay.
There's no limit to how many things can be in play?
Nope, not at all.
All right, well... That's what I got.
Cool. So I'll go to my turn, and let's see who wins this race. I'm going to draw a card.
You are currently ahead by 200, so...
Well, that's gonna change. Well, hopefully it doesn't. I'm going to play my 4, and I'm going to play another Quetzalcoatlus. Don't think there is anything particularly too dangerous that I want to get rid of right here, right now. Not even that I can, but... Thunderbird is going to turn on the Terra bonuses. I am going to attack you with Quetz for the 80.
Alright, goes down to 640 and 720.
And then Thunderbird for another 40.
Alright, so that's down to 600.
And then lastly, another 80.
Alright, so down to 520. I am almost halfway dead.
Cool. And then that is going to end my turn.
All right. Let's turn on the whole gang.
Which is definitely a lot of damage.
Right. So, yep. Then we'll go ahead and just start in with 2 of the Spooksters. We'll just do 10 more to each of those, which will pop them because they've each taken 10 already.
Indeed.
And then everybody else coming for you We have 3 of the children, which are doing 40 each.
Okay. So that's 120 from
120
9
from
10. So I would go to 790.
And then the moose is coming in for 50.
I go to 740.
And then we'll leave one of the spooksters up.
Sure. I believe we might have. Oh no, you don't have anything in the afterlife. So yeah, you're good. You're perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Now I'm just gonna go ahead and play these 2 familiars.
Wonderful. Because why not?
Apparently, I have some sort of aggro deck full of red cards that are small cost, very aggressive creatures.
100%.
Very mysterious. I've never seen such a thing before in card gaming.
I'm on fatigue and I'm going to draw. Oh, hey, look, a lightning storm. So now I have lightning storm just active. I don't have to worry about that Terra bonus ability. And then I went down. I said it was 790, and then what was it after? I think we just ended at 790 for my health.
It sounds right. Let's see. You were at 910, and then we did 120.
Okay.
And then 50. So yeah, 720.
Cool.
720.
720. I am going to lightning bolt your black-eyed children.
All right.
At least one of them.
Okay, and that will send it to the afterlife?
Yes. And then, oh, I'm sorry, not the afterlife, the limbo.
Limbo.
Yeah.
So, under.
Yeah. And then I'm going to hold that up, but I wanted to play the lightning spell to get the damage bonus. Quetzalcoatlus for 80.
Okay, and so that now I can choose to block?
Yes. So we will then resolve damage in accordance to how it's supposed to go. So I use my ability. It doesn't do anything specifically to your beastie. But because I have first strike, all of my stuff is going to happen first anyway.
Okay.
So I would inflict you with paralysis, which would negate all of the effect text on you, lose all of your traits, basically blanks the card.
But I think you're going to do plenty of damage to just get rid of it.
100%. So I'll do that 80 to your spookster.
Okay. And this will also go into limbo?
Yes. Thunderbird will come right after you for 40.
All right, so that's down to 480.
And then Quetz will come at you for 80.
So down to 400.
And then that'll be my turn.
All right. Whole team comes back up. Drawing cards. Playing Spirit Auras. All right. Well, I guess, yeah, it's race time. See, we have both of the Black-Eyed Children for 40-80.
Okay, so from 720, that's 640.
50 on the Moose.
590.
Okay. And let's see, the Familiars have little special abilities, but they just make things cost a little bit less. So they're just going to also go ahead and come in with 20 and another 20 for another 40.
Sure. I have forgotten where I left off. So it was
720 minus 80.
640.
Minus 50.
590.
Minus 40.
Cool. So 550.
All right. I am at 420, and we will leave the 2 spooksters up.
Just in case to block. I totally understand. So I will unfatigue. I will draw my card. And then, ooh, there we go. There's an artifact. So these cool cards right here are artifacts. We call them aurifacts because they can be fatigued to generate 2 and they only cost 0. They're pretty cool, pretty strong. And it's a lightning page, so it'll trigger Thunderbird's ability as well. I might as well go in for the race, but I think I want to make sure one of your guys can't do anything. Well, it doesn't fatigue it, so I guess that's fine. Yeah, we'll go Thunderbird for 40.
All right, I accept the 40. So I was at 420. I'm down to 380.
Quetz for 80, and then let's just say 160.
Yep, and the 2 spooksters will eat those.
There they go. I believe that is the end of my turn.
All right. I think I forgot to do something on my familiars at the end of last turn. I don't have any way to interact with it, so I don't think it matters, but all right. So this is a potion. It costs nothing to play, and it's an unlucky potion, and I can. So it says I can play it any time. So I should keep this. Does this resolve when I play it, or do I play it and then use it later?
It will resolve when you play it.
Okay,
it's basically an instant action.
So I'll keep it in my hand to wait for you to flip a coin.
Which is good, because Paralyze is going to force me to flip a coin.
Let's see, yep. And then I guess it's back for racing. So 40 from the children.
510.
40 from the children.
470.
50 from the moose.
420.
See, 20 from a cat. Let's see, what's the wolf symbol there?
I believe that is full moon.
Okay.
Pretty sure that one's full moon.
Well, that's not going to be the case. And another 20 from the familiar.
Okay, so that was 40 extra on top of the 420. I believe I am at 380.
All right, and then let's see, what's the familiar say? At the end of your turn, place a beastie from Limbo into your afterlife. So I'm not sure what this does for me, but I will send Black-Eyed Children and one of my spooksters into the afterlife.
For sure. I will give you a little bit of a hint. Your Stakini Owl, which is somewhere in your deck, basically gets them all back.
Okay.
Which is super, super, super powerful.
Well, I don't think I'm going to live that long, but we'll see.
Okay, so let's unfatigue. Let's see if there's anything left. Another lightning aura. I think I'm okay without the boost this time, so we'll go in for 30.
All right, so from 380 to 350.
And then 160 total.
All right, that brings me down to 190.
All right, that's going to be it.
All right. See if something interesting could come up. Nope. Just another spirit aura, so 40,
340,
80, or so 300 then.
300, yep.
Yep. And then 50.
250.
And I guess I'll leave the two familiars up.
Okay, that's totally fine. Let's go back to it. See if we can get rid of some of those. Oh, that's great. So I'm going to use one lightning aura to play Index. It may be the only non-aura page I contract this turn. I'm going to search my spellbook for a beastie page, reveal it, and place it into my chapter, and then shuffle my spellbook. So what I will do is I will shuffle, or search, I'm sorry, for probably the best card to get when you have a gigantic number of lightning aura, Ding Bell. And then I am going to attack with Thunderbird.
All right.
So that's 30 at you.
So that'll go to 160 from 190.
Okay. And then both of my quets.
Yep, which will undoubtedly eat the two familiars.
For sure. And then that will be the end of my turn.
Oh, so I don't think this is going to do anything for me, but nighttime. Oh, wait, it is, because the Black-Eyed Children both seem to get a bonus for nighttime.
They are much stronger.
All right, so this becomes 60.
Okay, and I was at, I believe, 300 minus... I was at 250, so now I'm at 190.
All right, and then a second one.
Another 60, I'm at 130.
I don't think the math let me win, because I'm at 160. I could block one of those with the moose next turn, but then the best I could do is get you down to 10. So, yeah, we'll leave the moose up to see what happens here, but I don't think... the moose might survive an attack from one of them. Maybe? We'll see.
It is possible. I'm probably going to paralyze it, but you have an unlucky potion.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. I'll call that the end of the turn.
Cool. I will unfatigue. There's a third Quetzalcoatlus.
Well, that'll do it.
That will do it. So I will play my third Quetz, and then I will attack you for 80.
Yep. Let's see. Try and block with Moose.
Yes, indeed. So first strike I have anyway. I do believe you have the LP bonus of plus 20, but 80 is bigger than 70, so your Moose will die before it does damage.
Yep.
And then I will attack with both Quets.
Yep, and that's another 160, and that's game over. All right, so yeah, it's fun little game, and I know that there's a lot of cards. I've opened a bunch of these for our stream and seen some of the weird and crazy rules that some of these have on them, so it's really interesting. That covers about the basics of it. Is there anything else that we should really know while we're getting into Metazoo?
Yeah, so I'll go through a couple other card interactions that might make a little bit more sense to the gameplay, as we might not have seen everything. You know, there are cards that reduce costs, and other cards that search out certain things. Power Up Red is another kind of card that does, you know, very, very powerful things because it kind of equips to a beastie. We didn't see traps at all, but there are trap pages that you play face down, and then you kind of use them in the moment to get in for extra defense or damage, or however you might spin it. And then each aura type has a different kind of like game plan that they want to set up and do. You were absolutely right in saying that Spirits is very red in its own way. It kind of plays low and fast and quick and strong, especially with your Terra bonuses.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the aura type and the strategy.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming and showing us how to play Metazoo. This was really cool. And we are doing Metazoo Monday nights here at Zulus right now with JT showing folks what's going on. And we are going to have some organized play for it in the future, is my understanding.
Absolutely. As soon as they get the kits out, we should be signed up to do so.
Very cool. I'm admittedly a little sad that the organized play folks, like Metazoologist is okay, but Zookeeper was right there.
It really was.
Didn't get used, and that was a little saddening to us here at Zulus.
I bet it will one day.
But yeah, thanks so much for joining us, and I hope this was helpful for anyone looking to learn to play Metazoo, and we'll hopefully see y'all out here, and you can always find us online, zulusgames.com. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you all.
Bye.